Hi, I'm Jeremy Lasage with the Office of Public Affairs, and I'm here with Jessica Hudson, who's the director of the Fairfax County Library. And today we're going to be talking about the Great American Read, which is a national series that's running on PBS, and it's also a local program we're doing here in Fairfax County, where we have taken 100 books and put them in a bracket. And Fairfax County, for the past several weeks, has been voting on what to determine what Fairfax County's favorite book is going to be. So we're going to talk about the national program. We're going to talk about the local program here in Fairfax. But we'll start with Jessica. So first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us, what is the Great American Read, specifically the PBS series?
Sure. So in the library, we love reading, and we assume that every single community member across the whole nation loves books as much as we do. That's not always true, and the PBS Great American Read series is meant to promote the love of reading across all of our communities. So PBS pulled together a list of the top 100 books across American literature and is trying to get people more involved and invested in those kind of classic, new and old, reads that you might have read in high school, that you picked up as an adult, childhood memories. The PBS series is a bracket format, similar to what we're doing here.
Okay.
So it started out with 100, and it's narrowing them down based on time scope. So it was, like late 18th century novels, modern classics, and they're narrowing and narrowing and narrowing.
Okay.
And here in Fairfax, we've done something very similar. We know that our Fairfax people love to read. So we wanted to take what PBS is doing and do it local as well. So not only is it the Great American Read series that you can vote on to be part of the national effort, you can do it locally too.
Right.
You can find Fairfax favorite read.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you go to fairfaxcounty.gov/news, that's where you'll find the brackets. Again, we've taken all 100 books that were identified by PBS and done our own little bracket, which is a different bracket than what PBS has. And we have broken them down into 4 quadrants. The first one is what we call the classics, and they are by year. So we took the first 25 that were chronologically listed in the PBS series, put those in the classics section. We took the second 25, we put those in the mid-century section. The third 25 are the late century, and the fourth 25 are the kind of the contemporary series. So they're at least broken down by similar, age ranges, which is kind of fun. So we are down to the what we thought was going to be the Sweet 16, as they say in March Madness.
Yes.
But for the first time during our voting last week, we had a tie, so we're actually down to the Sweet 17, which is kind of fun. So one of our books, one of our brackets actually has 3 books going at the same time right now.
Yes. And the brackets are fun because as you're going through, it's narrowing within a group. So the contemporaries are narrowing, the mid-range ones are narrowing, but eventually we're going to be pitting different eras against each other. And folks tend to get a little clumped together on what they like to read. So you really like new literary novels, or you really love those 18th century English classics.
Right.
But pretty soon you're going to have to make a pick, and it might not be one of either of those.
Right. We've had some very close ones, and we've had some blowouts. We've already we were talking earlier. Your favorite's already been knocked out, which was the.
I'm too sad. I'm too sad to even name it. But it was the Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I love those books, and they got knocked out last round. So I'm moping a little bit about the whole thing.
I feel your pain. I had The Outsiders and The Stand were my 2 favorites, and both of those went out in the past couple rounds as well. So,
well, not to say there's not great contenders on there still. There's
Right.
wonderful novels. I have the 3 that I think are going to land close to the end. I don't know if I'll be right, since I was wrong for the whole thing.
Right.
but
Well,
we can
well,
hope.
well, let's get into this a little bit. So
Sure.
we're going to talk about these 17 books. We're going to talk about the matchups. We'll just briefly talk about them. We want to make sure that you all know what are the last 17 books standing. And so in our first bracket here is actually our 3-way tie. Because
right.
last round, Jane Eyre and Tom Sawyer were matched up against each other, and they finished exactly with
Tie.
247 votes evenly apiece. So we decided to advance both those to take on Gone with the Wind. So we have Gone with the Wind, Jane Eyre, and Tom Sawyer. And as of today, the voting, all 3 of those are within 10 percentage points. So thoughts on that one?
That's a hard one. I've got good memories about all 3. If I had to stump for a specific one, it would probably be Gone with the Wind. Not just because the movie was great, because it's about books, not just the movie and television adaptations of them, but because the book's got so many themes that translate well to times now. It's about coming of age, it's about growing as an individual, it's about finding who you're going to be and being willing to stand behind that, and doing all of that in a very tumultuous time.
Great.
So that's my vote.
And I personally voted for Adventures of Tom Sawyer because I grew up reading Tom Sawyer going down a river and or Tom Sawyer going on his adventures and
It's a great one too. That's
yeah.
going to be a hard one. I don't know that I know who's going to win that one.
Yeah, it'll be close.
Yeah.
So the next one on the list is Pride and Prejudice, which beat Anne of Green Gables in the previous round, and Little Women, which surprisingly knocked out Great Gatsby. I thought that one was also close. So Pride and Prejudice against Little Women.
This is a personal favorite. I'm always going to choose Little Women. I own in my home right now an abridged version of Little Women and the full version.
Oh, really?
I loved it so much when I
Okay.
was growing up. Because that's a wonderful one, too. It's about family and about the struggles of trying to find your own individual place within it. It's another one that they're adapting into a movie. Every good book is turning into a movie, it seems.
That is true.
Yeah.
I have bad news. Little Women is currently losing,
No!
but it is close. So
Okay.
go vote. Go vote.
Go votes.
So that's it for the classics round. Next in the mid-century round, we have the Grapes of Wrath versus Charlotte's Web, which has been performing very strongly. But this one is currently within 6 percentage points. So you've kind of got a children's classic in Charlotte's Web and Grapes of Wrath, which is a completely different type of book.
It's Charlotte's Web all the way. Anthropomorphized animals, pigs that can talk. Nothing wrong with that.
What's more to love?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a vote for Charlotte's Web.
There you go. And the other mid-century one is To Kill a Mockingbird, which has been steamrolling through the competition so far and is currently dominating Catch-22, and this is the biggest blowout so far of this round.
As much as I love Major from Catch-22, To Kill a Mockingbird is just gonna continue to steamroll. That is actually one of my top 3 choices for the winner for the Fairfax County on the side.
Based on the voting results so far, you may be on the right track because that one has been performing very well. So.
Excellent.
So now we're moving into the late century bracket where we've got 8 books left in there. And the first matchup is The Color Purple and The Joy Luck Club, and that's within 16 percentage points right now, so it's still running pretty close.
And I'm going to say I don't have a strong feeling on that one. It could go either way because they're both such strong novels. They've both got really clear overriding themes that speak to things that are happening right now in our nation. I think it just depends on who votes. So your vote could be the swing vote.
There you go. And the next one, The Wheel of Time, which is a series, and Pillars of the Earth. And The Wheel of Time, interesting to me, knocked out The Handmaid's Tale, and The Handmaid's Tale has been, of course, a very popular TV series recently, so I was surprised that one got knocked out. But that Wheel of Time and Pillars of the Earth.
I'm not surprised. The Wheel of Time series is a fantastic epic fantasy series, and there are a lot of us out there that read science fiction and fantasy and will vote a lot.
Right.
So Wheel of Time is a wonderful one because you can continue on a story over 10, 12 books. You have all of that really high-level plot and character development, and it brings you into a world and you want to stay there.
Right, right. Well, it is currently winning, so we will see.
Okay.
All right, then the last bracket is the contemporary bracket, and we have The Help, which knocked out Memoirs of a Geisha, and The Da Vinci Code, which beat White Teeth. So another 2 classics and 2 very different types of books here.
As popular as The Da Vinci Code was when it first came out and has remained, it's got to be The Help. The Help is one of my 3 books I think is going to make it all the way to the end. That's another. It was a classic the moment it came out.
Right, right. Good. And the final bracket, Harry Potter, which is dominating, similar to To Kill a Mockingbird, has been dominating on the contemporary side of the bracket, and The Book Thief, which, again, surprising to me, knocked out The Hunger Games the previous round, which, again, with The Hunger Games, movies were so popular, I thought that might give a bump to the books as well, but it didn't appear to be the case, so The Book Thief performed well. So Harry Potter and The Book Thief.
I'm going to vote Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is my 3rd book on here that I think, the series, which is going to be one of the finalists. That is a book and a series that changed the way a generation of children read, and the length of novel that they were willing to pick up, and the topics that they were willing to read about. I would not be surprised if that came up in the top 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have bad news for you. 2 of your 3 books are in the same bracket, so Harry Potter and The Help, if they both win, will face off next round. So one of those will be eliminated in the next round.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do when that time comes.
So we'll see. And the way we've been doing this is the voting has been open for a full week.
Yes.
So voting for this round closes Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, at 11:30 p.m. is when voting cuts off. So we're doing this on a Friday, so we have several days left to vote for this round, and then we'll move into the round of 8, and you'll have a week-long time period to vote on those books as well. And again, you can go to fairfaxcounty.gov/news and search for the Great American Read, and that's how you will find where to vote for these. And I'm assuming you can check out most or all of these books in the Fairfax County Library. You want to talk about that real quick?
I'd be happy to. We are so enamored of this Great American Read program that we have made sure that almost all of our facilities have displays with all of the Great American Read titles on them, even if they've already been knocked out of the brackets. So you can come to any of our branches, see what's available, put things on hold if they're really popular. But we really want to encourage you to give some of these books a try, even if they're not on your regular, typical reading list. They're put on there because they are all wonderful works of literature, even if they're not your personal genre of choice.
Great. And we should mention the Reston Regional Library was one of the few nationwide libraries to receive a grant to help promote this, and they're doing a little bit of extra promotion as well.
Yeah, the Reston Library received one of 50 national grants in support of the Great American Read program. We're very proud of them. And they've done a number of programs and author visits. Kwame Alexander came and spoke. It was a lovely afternoon, but they still have lots of great things coming up. So you can always go to the library's website at fairfaxcounty.gov/library and pull up our events calendar, and you'll be able to see everything else that's upcoming.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. We really enjoyed learning more about these books. And again, go vote, go vote, go vote. fairfaxcounty.gov/news for the voting, and fairfaxcounty.gov/library to go check out the book. So thank you very much, and go vote.